So today we are going to start a new topic, which is learning. So learning is what, first of all, uh, if an expert system brilliantly designed, engineered, and implemented cannot learn not to repeat its mistakes, it is not an intelligent as a worm of sea or anyone or a kitten. So learning is basically is what, let us first of all understand. See, whenever we are doing certain task, whenever we do certain task, and definitely when we are doing certain tasks, we found uh, that something is the steps are correct or not. It is totally depend upon the feedback that we are getting after done that task, or the feedback or an experience that we are getting after doing that task. Because without experience you can't say whether something is correct or not. So, and maybe that experience is of you, or by your senior, or by your parents, or by your teachers. They have experienced something. That's why they told you not to do or do this thing or not to do this thing, because they have already experienced. They learned that this thing is good for you or not good for you. So learning, I think, I hope everybody understand, learning means it is something which you get by your experience, or through books, or through some YouTube channels, or some anywhere from where you can the from the experienced person, or at last the feedback. Sometimes, like, you are doing some new things and you don't know whether you are doing it good or bad. Then you ask your audience whether you understand, or whether you like it or not like it. And based on the result or response getting from them, you will get learned. In the same way, machine learning, what is the machine learning in AI or AI? Machine learning refers to a system capable of autonomous acquisition and integration of knowledge. This capacity of learn from experience, analytical observation, and the other means result in a system that can continuously self-improve and thereby offer increased efficiency and effectiveness. I hope this is a self-explanatory definition. It is very easy. But learning is are of several types. Learning of several type means there are different types of learning. One is what we call rote learning. Another is what we call learning by taking an advice. Third category is learning in problem solving. That is what we call reinforcement learning. And next one is learning from example. That is what we call induction based learning. After that, there is a explanation based learning, and then discovery, and analogy, and neural net or genetic learning. So there are one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight categories, or you may say eight types of learning. So let us first of all see all these eight types of learning one by one, and this will cover the whole of your unit together. But we will do certain types of learning in detail. So let us start with the rote learning. Now, what is rote learning? Rote means, it is kind of rudimentary learning. Rudimentary form of learning is like, rudimentary means repeating certain tasks again and again and again and again. That is what we call, rote learning. So memorizing technique based on repetition. You know, there is a general thumb rule. We will say whenever we read, some certain task, a certain, book or some lecture 7 or 8 times, then it get, printed on our mind. So this is kind of learning, which is what we call rote learning. So when a computer stores a piece of data, it is performing a rudimentary form of learning. In the case of the data caching, we store captured values such as strongly successful path in the search, because each time you are finding that particular question, so that path is most common, and it is stored in a cache memory of the computer, so that we don't have to recompute them later. Because as you do in your computer also, there is a more recent document also, Most recent document means several times, people are using the same document by and by over a time. So computer store it also in a particular directory, so that it can be retrieved easily. I think you understand. So it's a what we call the rote learning. When an agent receives experience episode from other agent and remembers it, it learns. Means since the same technique you have to follow each and every time. uh, I'll give you one example. Let us suppose you bought a machine. First time, automatic machine you bought, washing machine maybe, and first time when it operates, when it starts operating, it will take certain time, because all the sensors has to be activated and all the machines to be correlated with each other. But once it is okay, once it is comes in running mode, then there is no problem. It will take lesser time to do that task, just because it uh, it get learned. So research issues in this time, but still, you know so rote learning, it's a form of rudimentary learning. It means you are doing certain tasks again and again and again, then that particular task you learn. That is, this kind of learning is what we call rote learning. And research issues in this type of learning include organization of information for efficient updates and retrievals, and generalization of the information for effective updates and retrievals, as well as interpretation of analysis. So this is something about rote learning. I hope everybody understand what is rote learning. So anybody have any question regarding rote learning, they may ask me, or we will move forward. Yes, anybody? So I think nobody have no question. It means everybody understood this. So rote learning, I'll explain once again in a short. Rote learning is a kind of learning which we learn or machine learn by repetitive doing the repetitive task again and again. So that is why it is called rudimentary. Rudimentary, it's a kind of cow, जो गायें हैं वो रुडोमेंट करती रहती है, जुगाली टाइप जैसे करती रहती है, मीन्स वो रिपीट करती रहती है एक टास्क को अगेन एंड अगेन. दैट इज सेम थिंग. You have to doing a particular task again and again and again, तो वो आपको याद हो जाता है. तो this kind of learning is what called rote learning. There is not no any rocket science in this. You repeatedly doing some certain thing, so the impression is made in your mind, and you are doing then that particular task again and again. So let me move towards the second type of learning, that is learning by taking advice. Now, what is this learning by taking advice? I hope it is self-explanatory by the by the title itself. Learning by taking advice. Let us suppose you are not sure about something, so you are taking the advice from somebody else. So this type of learning is natural in humans. Most of the time, whenever we are doing a certain new task, we take an advice from our seniors or by our parents or by somebody, some stranger also. Sometimes whenever we are in a bank, let us suppose, and we are going to fill a form, but sometimes we don't know what where you have to put the right answer. So at that time, at that moment, we will ask some strangers also or some bank personals also what to do next. So this kind of learning is basically we are taking an advice by the other person. So this type of learning is what we call learning by taking advice. So this type of learning is natural in human. However, a system that performs this type of learning must be able to translate advice given into actionable decisions. Thus, in case of the system might not be doing any learning at all humans probably are ones who do not that for the system. Research issues in this area involves sufficient representation of advice. Yes, this is very important. Now, you want to take an you prepare a machine which will learn by taking an advice, but there is a problem. Research issues in this area is that efficient representation of advice and effective parsing of advice to operationalize them means there should be database should be so accurate that it will ready to give more accurate advice or effective parsing of advice. Means the let us suppose one machine A, it is working on a certain rules, and it gets stuck somewhere, and the machine asks to the machine B what to do next. So it will take an advice only and only if the machine B is superior than the machine A. Then only it will take some sort of decision from it. Otherwise, and the decision is based on how rich or how experienced the other machine will be. So I hope everybody understand. So for example, we know the defense wins championships is a piece of good advice. So but we need to translate this high level strategy into actionable tactics such as playing man to man defense, substitute often, etc. So I hope this is also again a very easy and understandable term, that is learning by taking advice. Now let's move towards the next one, learning in problem solving. Now what is this? Learning in problem solving. Uh, Human learn from yeah. Learning in problem solving is also one of the very important concept. Learning in problem solving means you find that many of companies nowadays they are taking reasoning or reasoning sort of test. Why? Why not they take a test from your course? Because they know the course that you learned or you are reading, it is basic necessity of that particular job. But by checking your ability, your logical ability, they will check how you can take an action whenever you stuck in a company somewhere. What is your decision making capability there? That is why they are checking your logical brain and your reasoning brain. That's why they are giving you a certain sort of uh, certain sort of case study, and you have to respond to that case study. Because in a company or in an organization, several times whenever you are doing certain task, you will find some problems. So how to handle their problems yourself, because nobody help them help you out every time when you get stuck in somewhere. So you have to take some self decisions also. But how can you can and this self decision taking capacity, capability is not with everybody. So that is why they are checking your logical brain and reasoning brain, means how your brain. Because if you took a self decision and which is not in the favor of the organization, then definitely it will affect the performance of your performance as well as you know the company performance. So this is very important, that learning in a problem solving. So that is why it is advisable to you all, you should have to do certain sort of reasoning. You have to solve certain sort of reasoning and aptitude questions your own, because this will increase your analytical mind also. So human learn from solving problem, and your learning capacity increased whenever you are going to solve these kind of logical or reasoning questions. Your learning capacity increase, and that particular learning capacity is what we call learning in problem solving. In the same way, when the same thing we are applied to the machine, so whenever the machine is solving certain sort of questions, so it is get more or more trained like a human being. So humans learn from solving problems, regardless of the forms or representation or the exact entity that one learns. Usually, the underlying principle is based on some sort of reinforcement. Specifically, one learns to repeat performing an action if that leads to desirable outcomes, and one learn to avoid performing an action if it leads to undesirable outcomes. Definitely, reinforcement. There is a one word, that is what we call reinforcement. Reinforcement is what, see, whenever you are doing certain task, and after completion of that task, someone suggests you whether it is good or bad. That kind of learning is what we call reinforcement learning, because on the feedback, you are working on certain feedback. Whenever somebody says yes, it is okay, then you move forward. Otherwise you drop that and move in a different direction. So this type of learning is what we call reinforcement learning. We will cover it soon. But here, in problem solving learning means you are solving certain problem, and while solving that problem you learn something. So this type of learning is what we call learning in problem solving. So research issues in this area, in this particular area, learning and problem solving, is that many identification of the learning rate, time, algorithm, complexity, convergence, representation, handling of uncertainty, adaptability, and unlearning, and so forth. These are the certain issues, because identification of learning rate, because learning through problem solving, not everybody good in solving problem. So if someone who is very good in problem solving, his capability of learning is much better. But if someone, those who are less interested in mathematics, or have not basic clear, so they will take some long time. So that is why here it is written learning rate, time, algorithm, complexity. Yes, also depend upon how complex the question is. So if the question is very complex, because question is very complex, so the learning rate will be slow. So there are so many factors which affects learning and problem solving. I hope everybody understand learning and problem solving, and we will go into the depth when we take this topic in more detail individually. So let's move towards the next one. Learning from example, that is what we call induction. So induction, I think mathematical induction, you already learned this particular topic in your 11th or 12th class. Induction means you are induction means what? Induction means you are solving a problem with a certain set, like you are solving it with some for a certain data, and then you generalize it with all. This is what we call induction. Induction means you are solving it for a particular like in mathematical induction, what we are doing for a relation, we proved it for one, that it is true for one, and then we let it for k it is true. We let that the relation is true for k, and once it is true for k, we prove that it is true for k plus 1. So if it is proof for k plus 1, it means that whatsoever we assumed, it is correct. So in this way, the same sort of technique is, and then we generalize it for all. Yes, like this particular relation is true for all. In the same way, here, learning for example, induction is what we call, we are once often we learn by classify things into different labels, and then inferring and common characteristics of each label. This level type of learning is especially useful in classification task, because if there is a bag, let us suppose there is a bag which contains red or blue balls. A particular bag contains red balls only. So, and it contains, let us suppose, 1,000 red balls. And while checking, we will not go and check one and each and every ball every time. What we are doing, what we will do, we'll just check one or two samples out of 1,000 balls, and if that balls are comes to be good quality and correct, then we will say the whole box, the whole bag is correct. So this is what we call, it's a kind of scrutiny. Basically, you are doing certain things like in a production of certain something. What the checker or your auditor do? That auditor particularly check only one or two copies of that particular, one or two samples, and on the basis of that two one or two samples, he or she will recommend the all data, the all the production, like all the production is correct. If out of the five, let us suppose he picked five samples, and out of the five, the fours are bad and one is good, then clearly he claimed he can say that the all of your production is wrong or bad. So this is what we call learning from examples. So I think you understand this, learning from examples. Anybody have any question? Mohammad Asif? Mohammad Asif, any
No,
problem?
sir. No,
No,
sir.
okay,
Clear.
no, right. It is very easy, and all part are literature. There is no numerical. So let's move towards the next one. Explanation based learning. See, explanation based learning that I am doing with you all. I am explaining all the things to you, and you get learn. I am explaining you by giving certain examples, and you get learn. This is what we call EBL, explanation based learning. So explanation based learning is based on the notion of single example learning. Recall, the instance based learning requires typically a substantial number of training instances. However, it is possible that we don't have or afford such a number of training instances. So it is at the time possible to learn well from a single example, especially when we enough knowledge. So this is what we call explanation based learning. Basically, in explanation based learning, someone explains you a particular task, how you have to, like, you explain the machine need not to be do it their own. You explain the machine that you have to do this, then after you have to do this, like a sort of flow chart you have given to the machine. Then according to that flow chart or that process, the machine will respond. That is what we call EBL, or explanation based learning. I hope this is also easy. Now next one is discovery. Discovery is also a sort of learning. Now what is discovery? Let us first of all understand. Learning by discovery is sometimes considered as the highest form of machine learning because it discovers a new knowledge or information. That is what we call learning, a discovery. Discovery means you put your machine to do certain task, and in doing that particular task, the machine realized that this data set is not this particular task is not earlier faced, that particular situation. And this is a sort of what we call discovery, because that is a new information. So to do that, a system will need to able to generate concept, for example, and will also need to be able to evaluate and identify these concepts are new and interesting. That I'm telling you, like a machine is doing certain tasks, and at a certain point of time, the machine faces that it should this is a new step, and it should have to follow this in a in a different way. So that particular step is not generated earlier one. So, and this evaluation is done by the machine itself, that this thing is happened first time. So this is what we call discovery, and discovery is also a sort of learning. So you can read this example you are on. I will share this document after this class with you all. This is a research topic that I research document that I get from certain one of the website. So that's why I would like to discuss all this thing with you, because in this particular research document all the things are concisely mentioned. So next one is analogy. Analogy is also learning. Learning by analogy means there are two things which are which are same. One technique is learning by analogy is a case based learning. Okay, analogy based learning is having one or two techniques. One is what we call CBR. In CBR, case holds a problem statement and its solution. When a new problem is encountered, the system searches its case basis for the best case, typically one that match with the new problems most closely. Then, based on the differences between the new problem and the best case problem statement, the system adapt the best case solution accordingly. I think you understand. Analogy means, let us suppose you are. I'll give you one example. Sometimes what will happen, we are looking for certain thing in the market. We have certain piece of instrument or certain equipment or certain kind of color we are looking in the market. Let us suppose a thread. We are looking for a brown thread in the market. But when you reach to the shop, sometimes what will happen, the exact color will not you will unable to found the exact color that you are looking for in the market. Then you compromise, between how much different color is available to you. Let us suppose you are looking for a brown color, and there is a brown color available in the market which is not exactly same, but 95% they are same. So then you may, compromise at that. Yes, this can be, suited you for your application, and you took that. In the same way, in a machine, when it perform a certain task, and it want to do a certain task, but it will not have, exact solution for that task, but it has a 90% or 95%, the solution available. So maybe it will, try that task particular solution with that task, and maybe sometimes it will succeed. So this is what we call analogy, learning by analogy. जैसे कि आपको देखा होगा किसी बंदे को, आपको पता होगा जैसे ब्लड ग्रुप में होता है। अब ओ ब्लड ग्रुप जो है वो सबको दे सकता है, ए वाला किसी को ले सकता है, जो जो भी उनकी कैटेगरीज हैं। तो एनालॉगी का मतलब क्या होता है, दे मैच्ड, यू नो, भाई ए वाला ओ को भी ले सकता है, तो उसको ओ का ब्लड दे दिया हमने। तो दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल एनालॉगी। और ये हमने लर्निंग कैसे सीखी, जब इसमें हमने इसे प्रैक्टिकल को करके देखा। इन द सेम वे अगर आप मार्केट में और मशीन के अंदर सॉल्यूशन आपके पास 100%, उसका कोई सॉल्यूशन नहीं है आपके पास, तो आप क्या सोचोगे, आप देखोगे कि हाँ उससे मिलता जुलता कोई सॉल्यूशन है क्या जो वहाँ पे लग जाए। तो अगर वो कोई आपको मिलता जुलता सोल्यूशन मिल गया जो कि 90%, जैसे कोई आपने पेच लगाना है कहीं पर गाड़ी के अंदर, कभी कभार होता है ना, गाड़ी का कोई इक्विपमेंट टूट गया, सपोज शीशा टूट गया या उसका वाइपर टूट गया, तो अब आप एग्जैक्ट सेम वाइपर और सेम शीशे की मार्केट में तलाश कर रहे हो, लेकिन ओरिजिनल वन जो होता है वो ओरिजिनल ही होता है जो मार्केट से कंपनी से फिटेड होता है। अब जब वो टूट गया तो आप क्या करोगे, आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ करते हो, ठीक है यार, पाँच थोड़ा बहुत कलर चेंज है, थोड़ा बहुत कुछ वो है, तो आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ कर लेते हो। So this is what we called, analogy. So I think
So
I hope
like कोरोना की वैक्सीन जैसे नहीं बनी है, but we are doing with some
हाँ
other medicines.
right, कोरोना से याद आया, we will, perform a very good, experiment today on a corona. I will do certain, sort of analysis on a corona, and I will show you in your class, in your lab today. We will do that, so don't miss it. It is very important. And you know मैंने अभी अभी इसको किया है, और आई एम डूइंग इट फॉर writing my own research paper. So let me, share it with you all in today's lab. So be ready at that at 2 o'clock. So analogy, after that analogy, you know there is a next set of learning, that is what we call neural net learning or genetic learning. I think everybody understands this. Neural net learning is a type of learning that aims to, mimicking animal learning at a natural at a neural level means how your brain works, how, on the neural on the basis of how our brain work. We particularly, sometimes we sense something, then after sensing we can, do the analysis in our brain, whether it is good or bad or something. And then means in our brain, the certain sort of the how we make a decision by our brain, by, doing all we have our heuristic learning, also we have several types of learning. So on the basis of our experience, we first senses means it is doing in our brain in a layer wise. So that layer wise learning is what we call neural network, or, genetic learning. So we will see all these in details in the, upcoming sessions, because in our course I'll show you, please. See, in our course, there is reinforcement learning, there is a inductive learning, there is a, all the forms of learning, inductive learning, learning by decision trees, or enable learning. So all these are basically in today's class. I'll give you your neural network learning, reinforcement learning, passive reinforcement learning. So out of all these, this reinforcement and neural network learning is the one of the most important for your exam point of view. So we will cover these two particular topics, or inductive learning already we covered. That is a mathematical, that is what we call mathematical induction kind of learning. So We will cover each of them or most of them in the upcoming sessions. So I think this is enough for the today's class. If anybody have any doubt, any question, you may ask me. Otherwise, I'll wind up here. Yes, anybody have any questions still? Okay, let me stop
Yes, sir.
recording. Yeah. Yes.